Nice.
We are trying another new recipe, this time from the China Study Cookbook. We had some sweet potato and some kale left over, and so we tried this leafy green dill sauce. This is the remnants, but that's the sauce. And the camper smells incredible. I love dill. If you love dill, drop it in the comments. Thumbs up for dill. It's one of my favorite herbs. But yeah, this is so good. I'm so excited to eat this, but we're gonna serve it over brown rice. And yeah, John's helping me cook this up while I do a little filming. And I'm also working on the Everglades video. A little veggie broth in there. Then we're gonna saute up some onions. Right? Yep. And then I washed our kale and got it all nice and chopped and ripped apart. We steamed some sweet potatoes. That was in the top of the rice cooker. We like to do that. It's just easy to get them done while we're doing the rice, and I honestly didn't know that we were going to do this kale dressing recipe until after I'd thrown the sweet potatoes in the steamer basket, because I was looking through the menu planning. I was doing menu planning in the cookbooks, and I found this and thought, wow, we could totally do this. We have kale and sweet potato, so we're trying it. I'm excited. Keep watching. It's so yellow because I put turmeric in it.
Yeah.
It's a yellow brown rice. Carve up that plate, buddy. Saw that amazing lunch that actually came out of our menu planning. It was accidental. For our menu planning, what I try to do is I try to look at the items that we currently have, and then we're focusing on a high carb, high starch. So I'm looking at beans, rice, potatoes, pasta, starchy vegetables like squash, corn, and I'm really taking those ideas and turning them into meals. So our lunch, which was the kale and sweet potato with that delicious leafy green dill sauce from the China Study Cookbook, I just happened upon that while I was looking at the recipes for the upcoming week. And I knew we had kale that we needed to use, and I knew we had sweet potato, and I had already put the rice on, and I'd actually already put the sweet potatoes in the steamer basket. So it just worked perfectly, and the house still smells like that delicious sauce. So, but now we need to be ready for our grocery haul or our grocery shopping tomorrow. We typically grocery shop on Thursdays. That gets us set up for the weekend. If we have plans on the weekend, we don't have to try and get groceries in. Not getting groceries ends up, if we don't get groceries, we end up eating out or eating junk food that we don't want to eat. So menu planning and meal planning is really important to our success, and we've seen such great results. I'm down over 12 pounds since the end of November, which is fantastic. And this menu planning is very much successful for us. So the first thing I do is I go through our cookbooks. We have, even though we're in an RV, we did bring some of our favorite cookbooks with us. So I'll go through and I'll tab the pages of things that we want to make. I will link in the description below our Amazon Shops cookbook section, our cookbook page. All of these cookbooks that I'm going to go through today or talk about or get recipes from are on that page. So you'll have access to those. I simply go through and I tab all the recipes I want to try. Now these are things that sound good to me at the time. And then the next thing I do is I have John review my tabs and tell me what sounds good to him. That way we're both excited about the foods that we're eating. I found in the past that if I made the grocery list and didn't involve him, he wasn't always as excited about the recipes we were cooking or about the foods that we were eating, or he would have tweaked it a different way and we would have bought either less groceries or a different type of grocery. So I always include him. It also was the same when he used to do the menu planning. If he didn't involve me, he would have things that I wasn't really excited about, and it just makes dinner not fun. And for us, we love to be in the kitchen. We love to cook together. We love to help each other. So it really works well if we communicate and really share ideas and get things done. So the other piece of this menu planning is checking the ingredients that you already have in your refrigerator as you're making your grocery list. And then what I do is I go through each recipe. I mean, it's a little time consuming, but it really, again, being planned out is really important to us. We're gonna try nice cream for breakfast. So I need to make sure we have some bananas. And I'm gonna add berries to the list, just as a topping. So we'll need to save this cookbook because we'll need that. So then I am very organized as far as the grocery list. So on this piece of paper that you see me looking at, I don't know if you can see it, I have the day of the week and what we're eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks. And when I'm making the snacks, because I need that organization in as like routine and structure to make sure that those snacks get made. And honestly, it's really about making sure that no food goes to waste. I can't stand buying fresh produce and then forgetting that it's in there because I scheduled the recipe for the end of the week and I go in and the kale's totally bad. That's happened and I hate that. So I really try to schedule the food items that we want based on when their products will go bad. So the next thing I do, actually before I start the grocery list, I go ahead and number each of the recipes. And I do that so that I can put a number next to the item on the grocery list. So I know that the apples are for a snack and also it's for menu item number 1. The bananas were for, actually not till 12. Engine 2. So in the Engine 2 cookbook, oh yeah, we're making this. So we actually need 2 tofus. Need some celery. So as I'm putting the items on the list for groceries, I'm also making sure I know which cookbook that they're in, because that can be challenging. We have nothing out of the Starch Solution cookbook this week. The How Not to Die cookbook. We're doing the French toast. So then once I've made my grocery list from the cookbooks, then I go through the list, the plan, and make sure that I've looked at all of the recipes, because sometimes you get distracted and you forget something and then you get home and you don't have that item. So I just double check that I've mapped out I've put the ingredients for each of the menu items in my grocery list. And then I also add other items from around the house. So I know that we need paper towels, coffee. So now I'm just gonna run through my list and double check, making a list and checking it twice, basically. To make this way of eating successful, we find that menu planning is extremely important. It allows us to use all of the food that we get. Our groceries, we stick to the list, so we're not buying things that are off the list. We go ahead and we plan in items like snacks and sweet and savory foods. John asked if I'd make some cookies, so I have some cookies on a cookie recipe on the list. And it really allows us the flexibility and the freedom to eat the foods that we want to eat but we stick to both a budget and a plan to make sure that we're getting those high carb, low fat meals, and that those fatty, overly processed ingredients aren't making it in. That's one of the things that we gave up that we haven't really talked about. I say gave up, that's not really true. Processed foods are one of the items that we've really paid closer attention to keeping out of our diet. We want to make sure that the foods that we eat are whole and nutrient based. So when we try to stick to whole grains, flours made from grains versus highly processed flours and things like that. So this menu planning really allows us to stick to those high carb, low fat, whole food, plant-based meals, which is what our goal is for eating for weight loss. I hope this glimpse into our menu planning is helpful. I also want to make sure that I give you a quick grocery haul after we do get home from groceries in the next video. Be sure you hit that subscribe so that you don't miss that video. I'm really excited about next week's menu, and that's what happens is I look through these recipes and I get so excited about what we're going to eat. And then when I'm excited about what we're cooking for dinner, I'm excited to make them, just like when we made the armadillo potatoes yesterday. I was so excited about those and they turned out great. They're definitely going to become a staple on future menus. Hope this is helpful. Thanks for watching. We cook our own chickpeas a lot of times. We'll use, for this one, it's half a pound of chickpeas, 3.5 cups of water, a half teaspoon of salt, and a pinch of kelp granules. Those help to soften the exterior so that the interior can get softer as well. Makes for super tender and delicious cooked beans. We've shared that recipe on our YouTube channel for black beans, and we've also done chickpeas in the slow cooker, but in this instance, we're just going to do them in this pot and let them cook until dinner. Those Marsala's chickpeas from the China Study Cookbook is what we're making for dinner tonight. We're gonna pair them with a nice helping of brown rice for our high carb, low fat meal. So let's get going. I'm hungry. I just want you guys to know that I am real and vulnerable and so embarrassed about how the kitchen looks, but I just feel like you really need to see real life. So we cooked dried chickpeas that you saw earlier, and when we measured them out, a half a pound is really only about 2.5 cups of chickpeas, and this recipe calls for 4 cups. So we are using red potatoes that we're going to dice up in place of the rest of the chickpeas. So it's, you know, that's part of the nature of cooking, is kind of just doing a little bit of on the fly as well as, you know, having it really the way you want it to be. We will show you the end result.
It has a very coconutty smellification.
He's not as funny as he thinks he is. Dinner is served. Darn it. Now I ruined my perfectly plating video.
Yeah, I think you broke it. It's not focusing.
Oh, now I'm recording. There's the red light. Oh, this is going to take some getting used to. Hi. Well, I did a doozy on that camera. It fell lens down. And the lens was smushed in, and now there's a crack in it. But of course the other camera won't focus to show you the crack, and I don't have enough hands to hold everything. This is the day in the life of a vlogger, folks. So I'm still gonna try and use this camera because John said it'll still focus. But I also have the microphone on our big camera as a vlogging camera, and then I have some other options with the smaller one. But I don't know, maybe I'll like this bigger one if I can get the angly, if I can. Oh, I can hold it. It's heavy though, so if I hold it up here, I don't want to be like Blair Witch Project where you guys are like, blah. I'll try and hold it steady. There's also a big smear on the front of the lens. I'm not sure what that is, but it looks like I'm gonna need to get the lens cleaner out for that. So anyway, I'm kind of bummed that I broke the other camera. We think we fixed it, but it still has a big crack in it. The reason we use that one is so that we can use the special microphone so you don't pick up other sounds from all over the place. The audio is better. And that camera's lighter. But that's okay. I'll figure it out. I'm not worried. It'll all work out. We have 4 cameras. 3 Canon cameras and the GoPro. So we're definitely have something to film with. Let's see, what can I update you on? So I had originally put the masala chickpeas on next week's food menu, but we had a lot of stuff. We didn't have everything for them. Basically, we had chickpeas and some spices. So anyway, we made those today, a tweaked version, so that because we didn't have enough chickpeas. So I need to pick another recipe for next week and update my grocery list. And tomorrow I'm going shopping with my mom, and I think we're planning another trip for this weekend to another national park. So that'll be kind of fun because you can go to a second national park with us and see what we eat and how we pack for that, because I have some different ideas for that. So anyway, I'm signing off for now. Catch you guys later.